Hey everybody, how you doing today? I'm in Hilliard. Ran over to a coffee place. We're going to talk about what it is to own a Vespa, what it's like after about 2,000 miles, since I have hit the 2,024 mile mark on this thing. I also finally bought some riding pants. I'll put a picture of the model up in here, but they're honestly a little warm. They're great pants. They fit great. Armor's great, but they're kind of warm, so I'm trying to get used to them. So, 2,000 miles. So far, the experience overall has been fantastic. Besides my little mishap with the keys, I really have no issues with the scooter at all. Beyond maybe a little rear brake squeakage, which I need to, get looked at some point. But yeah, I mean, I handled the first maintenance on it. I changed the brake fluid, or the oil, and not the brake fluid, but the oil and the transmission fluid, and just like took an overall look at the bike, and I had to top off my coolant because it was a little low, so I had to make sure I bought the right kind, because you don't want to mix those brands together. If you have one of these and you haven't done your first service, it's not hard to do. I did have to invest about, $120 to do it, but that included like a nice jack to jack up the scooter to get in there, because you can't really do it with your center stand down. It just gets in the way of the oil filter and everything. It'd leak right. If you tried to drain it, it'd just drain right all over it. So you got to be able to prop that up and get that oil pan under there. So that jack was like $80, $85, and then it was just really like filter, oil, coolant, transmission fluid, that kind of stuff. So overall, first service was fine. Went well. I've checked the oil several times since then. Just checked it for this ride. It's fine. Robot over at Scooter West, he's got a video on how to do it. Plus, I'm sure there's some other videos. I think Flat Grind Rides did one, showed how he changed it. I think he even changed his oil pan, put a sight glass thing in, but yeah, so that was fine. I mean, when we get to the 6,000 mile service, I'll definitely take it in for that, because that's like a belt change and some other stuff that I don't plan to do myself. But in between on oil changes, it's pretty easy to do. So that went well. I've enjoyed the accessories I bought so far. Windshield's been doing well. I actually took it off this morning, did a little ride without it, just to kind of remind myself of what it's like when you don't have it on there. And although there's more helmet wind with it on, because just the way my height is and how the wind comes over the windshield, it's just a little noisier than it is without it. But you don't have that wind on your chest, and it's a little smoother. So I think I'll end up keeping it. When I took it off, though, I did realize that the mounting hardware kind of rubbed up against the scooter and rubbed the paint off in two spots, one on each side. So I covered that before I put it back on, just to kind of make sure that that doesn't spread or get worse. I had reservations about tire size when I bought, because it has 12-inch tires on it, but that's not been a problem for the way I ride. I mean, I ride on the highway like 55 to 60 mile an hour roads, or in town, and on smooth roads like you're seeing in front of me, and it's not a problem at all. Shocks handle the road bumps pretty well. I haven't had any problem with that either. It's been a pretty smooth ride. Yeah, I love the orange color. Like I mentioned previously in my other videos, it was either orange or white. And I just like the orange better. Something fun to get. I love the speed off the line. Like, you can literally pull out in front of cars, no problem. I don't have any issue with that. I think I've got it up to about 70 mile an hour, maybe top speed for me. You know, and it's been really smooth at that speed. I don't have any like hesitations about that. Now, I will say, when you're up to that high speed, you definitely are not going to be able to pass anyone. It's not like that kind of bike. You know, passing someone at 45 mile an hour is a little different. But it's a good scooter for that 50 to 70 mile an hour range. Of course, below that too, but it's no problem. At that range. Yeah, I've had no issues, major issues with this bike so far. It's been pretty great. Happy with my choice. It has given me a little bit of a bug to start looking at motorcycles, which I would like to have one at some point, but it's just not in the cards right now, budget-wise, and just, other things going on. So, but definitely getting into this was fun to do, and I'm hoping to continue it. So definitely would keep this bike, this scooter too. So. So let's talk about mirrors, I guess. They are a little shaky. I will say some people really like to add those bar end mirrors on their scooters. I've considered it. I have played with the mirror positioning, and as long as you basically push them out flat and then angle them the way you need them, it's pretty good visibility, to be honest with you, in my opinion. I've had no issues with them. I don't have to turn my head too much. I can just kind of glance down, turn my eyes, and look into them. So it's not like I have a visibility problem or anything like that. If you do bump into them, though, they will move pretty easily. That's the only thing. I wish there was a way to tighten them. I haven't figured out a way to do that. I do wish you could get a full-size helmet for my big noggin under the seat, but that's just not going to happen. I don't even think I could get one under like a Primavera, which has a bigger bucket, deeper bucket. It's just my helmet. I need a medium to large helmet, and the shell size usually jumps up a size once you do that. And so, I mean, if you're a smaller person or wear like a small or medium helmet, full-size helmet, you might be able to get it in there, depending, but I doubt it. So it's either hanging off the hook, under the seat, which works. I don't think I'd trust leaving my 6D helmet like that, but or get some kind of case on the back, and like I have, and just put your helmet in there. Let's see, what else? So, speedometer. I noticed it's about 3 to 5 mile an hour higher than what the actual speed is. At least based on GPS and just traveling behind people, I think. Seems to be, and that seems to be at like all speeds. Like I don't notice it being any different at 25 mile an hour versus 55 or so. Just I need to keep that in mind. I can't speak to a passenger, like taking a passenger on this thing, because I haven't done it yet. My wife's not a big fan of motorcycles, or she's ridden with her dad before and didn't really like it, so I haven't bugged her to try to get on here for me, or my kids for that matter, so I can't really speak to that, but there are pegs for it. You can do it. How the bike would feel, I have no idea. So just for reference, I'm about 5'10", 5'11", 240, so 240 pounds. So I did have to bump up my preload, rear preload on the shocks. I bumped it up to like, I think one below the highest. I kind of can't remember exactly where I put it, but, and that made it a lot better. Didn't feel like the back end was sinking on me. And I also keep my tire pressure a little higher than the manual says. I think it's like 26 front, 28 back. Don't quote me on that, but I do 28 front, 30 in the back, roughly. So just to keep in mind, if you're a bigger person, just what you might need to adjust that a little bit. I'd love to be back to my high school 180 pounds, but I think that ship sailed. Even if I did hit the gym, maybe 200, 220 would be optimal, or 210, somewhere in that range. But, so anyway, this way to Hilliard, I actually did I went the right way this time. And you could probably maybe hear my directions in the helmet. I'm not sure, but so yeah, I mean, if you're looking at a scooter this size, and you want something to go faster than this, I would say look at the BV 400. It's a Piaggio scooter, or something like a Yamaha X Max or something like that. Because those can get up to interstate speeds. I don't plan to take this on the interstate, but anything rated at 70 mile an hour, I just wouldn't feel comfortable, because people don't go 70, they go 80. And then you're at max speed, and that's just not safe. So, I think I missed my turn back there that I meant to take. Oh well. I'm gonna go through town here, I guess. What else can I tell you about it? I think the glove box is a little bit overrated. I've yet to charge my phone on it. I think the USB plug in there that is quite slow to charge. I mean, in an emergency it'd be fine if you need to get some juice on your phone. But other than that, charging your phone, I think the space is kind of a little bit worthless in some respects. It's pretty tall or pretty small. Like depth-wise. So you can get tall things in there that are skinny, but really nothing worthwhile, to be honest. I mean, I got like the garage door opener in there and the paperwork, and like a cloth for my glasses, but beyond that, it's just not much you can put in there. Maybe a pair of gloves. But it's handy. I mean, it's you know, quick access if you have something small that you want to get to. The hook I've never used the hook for groceries. I know people have. I always use my top case because I can fit like 4 bags of groceries in there at least. Sometimes more than that, depending on what I'm getting and the weight. But so I don't use the hook for that. And honestly, I don't know if I want stuff banging, flapping around and scratching the plastic. But it's there, it's available. But I really haven't used it much. So. But overall, was it worth the purchase? I think yes. You know, I take this from a person that just got his, you know, motorcycle endorsement last year, and this is the first thing I've ever owned and the first thing I've ridden on really since I've been like a kid. I mean, I did dirt bikes when I was younger and some 3-wheelers. But I enjoy it. I think it's fun, a lot of fun. It's very smooth riding. I do wish that it had signals for the turn signals were one on each side. I think it's kind of dumb to have just a single flashing turn signal. But you know, I guess if you turn your turn signal on, like I said before, you should know what direction you're going. But it does help to be able to look down and see what you pushed. It'd be nice. Oh, looks like I might get caught in some rain. We will find out. That cloud doesn't look good. I definitely get some looks. I've had some people approach me saying, "Oh man, that's really cool." I haven't had any really negative comments. I do wave at the motorcycle guys. Sometimes they wave back, sometimes they don't. Most people do. But yeah, I'm going about 60 mile an hour right now, and it's really smooth. Windshield helps. I guess the other complaint I would have is the gas, filling up the gas. Yep, I'm going to get caught in the rain. Filling up the gas is kind of a pain. I'm trying to remember what video I did, but I think it was the... I think it was the one titled something about pandas and tornadoes or something. I showed the little funnel thing you can buy from Scooter West that it helps you fill up your gas without spilling it. I used that before this trip, and it worked fine. No overflow, shut off. I was full tank when it was done. But I wish you didn't have to buy this little accessory just for that. It's actually the first time I've ever been in the rain on this, so we're going to see how it goes. Kind of feels good, to be honest. I saw no rain in the forecast, of course, on the way here. But, oh well. It is what it is. So I guess we'll see how it handles in the rain. So yeah, so acceleration is great right off the line. I mean, in city traffic, it's optimal. Take precautions if you're going to pass on a highway, etc. I'm going to use the technique that they taught me in my basic rider course. Ride in the car tire lane when it's raining. It gets slick right after a rain or right when the rain starts because of all the oil on the road. Yeah, I'm gonna be soaked when I get home. But it looks like I'm riding out of it, hopefully here in shortly. Try to keep it as straight as possible. I may not talk here for a little bit. It's making me a little nervous. It's funny though that I was just thinking this morning, it's like, oh, I haven't got caught in the rain yet. Maybe I jinxed myself. I'll have to see what the video looks like. But yeah, these City Grip tires are pretty good, from what I can tell. I mean, from what I've read and stuff, they seem to be one of the best ones to get for a scooter. I think these are City Grip 2s. I'm not sure exactly. I guess all the bugs will wash off, right? That's a positive part of it. I should be getting out from under this cloud here shortly. I will say I was listening to one of Bug's videos the other day, and he talks about sending in pictures and mods for his Vespa, stuff he can do to it, and I have considered taking off the stripes too on the Super Sport. I would prefer it didn't have them, but it doesn't bother me that much. But if I did it, it looks like they're underneath the emblems, the Vespa emblems. So I'd probably end up taking those off, or taking the stripes off and taking the emblems off at the same time and replacing them with black, kind of black it out a little bit. Since I have to get that off anyway, I think. Oh yeah, big drops now. Oh, this is lovely. The last hurrah before I get from out underneath this cloud, I guess. But yeah, beyond that, I don't really, I mean, the aesthetics are fine other than that. I guess not really other than that, but it doesn't bother me super bad, you know, super bad. Like I had to do it when I first got it. But I would say it's probably, the more the sun hits it, the more they're gonna, you know, maybe show some of it underneath once you get it off. I'm not sure. I'm curious once Bug gets his off, if he does it, what it looks like. It may sway me one way or the other. Sorry to use you as the guinea pig there, Bug, but I don't know. See how that works. Yeah, some sun. Stop raining. These new riding pants, I just washed them. I'm gonna have to hang them up to dry again. Yay, I think the rain's done. Awesome. Anyway, if you have any questions, like what would you like to know about this thing? Maybe I missed something that you wish I would have said. Yeah, I mean, I haven't had any overheating issues or any other problems with the motor, you know, anything with it so far. I mean, I would hope not after 2,000 miles, but anyway, hopefully those things show up early if they're going to show up. So maybe I should just ride around a little more and dry off. But I got about 5 minutes until my dogs are going to be barking at me to eat. Feed them about 7:30, 8 o'clock, and 5 o'clock. And they start bugging me about 4 o'clock. So I'm going to get back home, take them out, and feed them. Yeah. So yeah, would I recommend the Vespa? I mean, sure, if you're looking for a scooter, I think it's a great option. That being said, they are a little more expensive than other scooters just because of the brand and their history. But I probably would also look seriously at the Beverly. I mean, if I hadn't bought this, that's probably what I would have gotten, the Beverly 400. I think it looks a little better than the X-Max in my opinion, or the Honda just isn't enough power in it. I think the highest it goes is 160 in the United States, but not a bad looking scooter either, in my opinion. So I guess just depends on what you're looking for. I just like this classic styling. So The rain kind of feels good, actually. I mean, I don't particularly like to be wet normally, but I was getting warm, so I think it's in the about 80 today, 81. I do like the power of this. I definitely wouldn't have gotten the Primavera or the Sprint. I do like the looks of those scooters. But I think they max out about 60 mile per hour. With my weight, probably less than that. Going up hills would be an issue. So, but if you're just looking, I mean, I say that with the way that I would ride it, right? I would be getting on highways 60 mile an hour most of the time. Like I do that quite a bit. I do that more than I thought I would, to be honest with you. If you're just looking for a scooter for like city riding, I think that would be perfect, because that would be plenty of speed to get you around, you know, go to the grocery, whatever. It just depends what you're looking for. So I think we just opened up a UPS store here on the right up here in the corner, and that's great because I don't have to take packages all the way back to the UPS store in Dublin anymore. Just put it on my scooter, bring it down here. But I'm not exactly sure. So my wife told me, but I don't see it saying a UPS store, plus it's not the right color. I'll have to look into that. So yeah, first 2,000 miles has been pleasant. I'm expecting the next 2,000 to be fine too. At least I hope. I guess I could talk about a few more things until I get home here. Seat comfort. Let's talk about that, because I do ride for, 45 minutes, an hour at a time, most of the time. I think you get to the 2-hour mark and you start to feel it a little bit. Not that it's an uncomfortable seat. It's just, I mean, sitting in anything, to be honest with you, for that amount of time, it's going to not feel the best. Now, that being said, I used to play in a men's baseball league, and I was going down the first baseline after a hit one day, and was going, over first base, and the first baseman had his foot on the top of the damn bag, and I tripped over it and spun around and landed on my tailbone. I didn't crack it, but man, did I bruise it, and I hurt like hell for like 2 months, and it's still not exactly right. And funny enough, that was like, I think it was 2 or 3 weeks before we were taking a flight to Hawaii, which was a 6-hour flight, or more than 6 hours, I think, from where we were. And God, that was not fun, sitting in an airplane seat for that long of a flight. But so I tend to have issues sitting for long periods of time anyway. But it is padded. It's nice. I think it's a nice seat overall. I like how they did the stitching and it matches the trim. I like matches the color of the bike and all that. For the orange color, at least. I think the orange stitching is on all the Super Sports, but it would match the stripes they put on it and stuff. Oh, there's a bug right in the middle of my visor. Awesome. Yeah, so the seat's fine. Seat position is fine. At my height, I told you earlier, I don't have any problem getting my feet flat on the ground. My inseam I think is around 30 to 31 inches, which is right at, it's like 31.1 I think is the seat height, so don't really have any trouble with that. Shorter inseams might have issues. If shorter seat height is a problem, or tall seat height is a problem for you, then you might want to look at a different scooter. I think the Sprint and the Primavera can be lowered. I don't think this can be. I could be wrong with that. But yeah, so something to think about there. Overall, the weight's really low on this. It's almost like I mentioned a few times before, like you're riding in a boat. It feels very smooth. No issues with balance or anything like that. I was a little hesitant with that when I first got it. Like, how's this gonna feel when I actually get up to like 60 mile an hour? But no problem. I did add handlebar weights, like heavier weights on the end to compensate for the top case I bought. And like when there's even no weight in it, it does balance the bike a little bit better, I think. I mean, the standard stock ones are fine if you don't have a top case, but this just feels like just a little bit more better weight distribution, I guess, a little smoother. They do stick out a couple inches further, maybe an inch and a half further than the other the stock ones, but it's not that big a deal. Yeah, if you got questions or want any answers on anything else, let me know, and I will answer them. But overall, a good experience with this scooter so far. Looking forward to riding it a lot more. So anyway, I'm gonna let you go. Talk to you later. See you next time. Bye.